Be careful what you wish for, they say. For most actors, the dream is to have a long career in Hollywood, landing job after job. But many of them find out the hard way that the camera lights are a little harsher than they expected. Jamie Lee Curtis is a staple in the acting world. From Halloween to Freaky Friday, True Lies, and beyond, she has been in classic after classic. While her success has been great, it also drew her to a life of addiction that she kept secret for far too long. You might think you know how these things happen, but oh my, will you be surprised what lies behind. How a single comment on set has launched her drug dependency.
And in recovery, we say you're only as sick as your secrets. I was sick. I was very, very sick. And yet no one knew it because I was fabulous, because that's the nature of addiction, is that you can hide it.
Tune in to learn the shameful and brave story of one of the most unapologetic stars in Hollywood. Let's go back to the moment Jamie will surely never forget. Curtis is 40. She and her husband, director Christopher Guest, have been married for 14 years and have 2 children. A 2-time Golden Globe winner, Jamie's just landed on the New York Times bestseller list with her 2nd children's book. She had everything and even more. One night, the actor was cooking dinner for her family. When she thought nobody was looking, she reached into her pocket, scooped up 5 Vicodin pills, and swallowed them with a glass of wine. Little did she know, a friend that was staying over was watching her from a doorway.
You know, Jamie, I see you. I see you with your little pills. And you think you're so fabulous and so great. But the truth is you're dead. You're a dead woman.
That was the moment Curtis realized someone knew about her Vicodin addiction. The secret she'd been nursing for a very long time, over 10 years. Even so, Jamie wasn't ready to face her demons. She just sobbed, thanked her friend, and told her she loved her. Sometimes, recovery begins when everything falls apart, whether that's a crisis at work, a health scare, or even an arrest. For Curtis, changes started happening a few weeks later. Her sister Kelly, who was staying with them at the time, was also prescribed Vicodin due to an injury. But Kelly didn't like how the medication made her feel, so she tossed the entire bottle into her suitcase. Jamie saw the opportunity and didn't think twice before taking it. Eventually, Curtis's sister found the empty bottle. Freaky Friday actor was terrified that she was going to be angry and, even worse, disappointed. But she just looked at Jamie, hugged her, and said, "You're an addict, and I love you, but I'm not going to watch you die." That's it. She didn't wag her finger. She didn't say anything else. About 2 months later, Jamie picked up a copy of Esquire. Flipping through the pages, she stopped at an article titled Vicodin, My Vicodin. As Curtis read the writer's story about his addiction to painkillers, for the first time, Jamie felt that she wasn't alone. To call yourself an alcoholic or a drug addict is a badge of honor, something that can be life-changing, she said, elaborating that the shameful secret is often why this illness is so horrible and so widespread.
Of the different projects you've done, which one changed you the most?
It wasn't work.
It wasn't work?
No.
So what was it?
I got sober.
How hard was that?
That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
But what has happened in the actor's glorious life that led her to this moment? All addicts have different origin stories. Jamie's began with a comment on set, a comment that made her feel ashamed and scared. The young star, who was yet to gain confidence in the harsh world of Hollywood, received the remark that changed her life for the next 10 years. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary when her scene came up, except that they were shooting in a courtroom with that nasty fluorescent light. Suddenly, a cameraman approached Curtis and said that he's not going to shoot her because her eyes were too puffy. Even though it wasn't news, as she naturally had puffy eyes, this truly came as a shock. She felt so embarrassed that not long after the movie was over, Jamie went on to have plastic surgery.
Shelly, do you think I'm pretty?
Yes, Beta, I think you're very pretty. You've got these great, big, sparkling eyes, cutest little nose, an amazing mouth.
They gave her Vicodin as a painkiller for something that wasn't painful, and from that prescription, Curtis became addicted to the drug. The actor said she was a highly controlled drug addict. She never took them before 5 p.m. For Jamie, it was more of a relaxation late afternoon and early morning. It's like the way you naturally feel when your body is cool and you step into a warm bath and you sink into it. That's the feeling the opiate gave her, and she secretly chased that feeling for a long time. None of her colleagues, her friends, her family had any idea what was going on. She was all alone in her suffering, in her perfect world, making movies, making dinners. The fact that she was so good at maintaining all the aspects of her life only made things worse. The fact that Vicodin was not the actor's first interaction with drugs might have something to do with it. The True Lies star comes from a family that had struggled with addiction. Her brother, Nicholas, tragically passed away from a heroin overdose when he was just 21 years old. And her dad, acting legend Tony Curtis, tried to fight it most of his life. Drug use was customary in their family. Jamie and her dad would even share drugs. I did cocaine and freebased once with my dad, but that was the only time I did that, said Curtis. Tony tried fighting the family curse. Sadly, he only found recovery for a minute. Fortunately, his daughter was stronger than he was. The day she went to the first recovery meeting, she told her husband that she had a problem. Christopher, a total normie, that's how addicts call a person who drinks and doesn't have a drinking problem, and her entire family have been supportive and very appreciative of her efforts to achieve sobriety and hold on to it. Understandably, when Curtis started attending the meetings, she was terrified that someone was going to recognize her, betray her trust, and sell her story to the tabloids. Luckily, that didn't happen, and after being sober for 2 years, the actor went public about her addiction. When the first interview started, Jamie wasn't planning on opening up, but when she found herself talking about all the beautiful aspects of development as a human being, she couldn't help but say, "I think the fact that I've been sober for almost 2 years is a big part of it." At that moment, she knew she was stepping over the line of anonymity and privacy into a public conversation. Am I going to be punished for my honesty? Am I going to be punished for my exposure of a personal flaw and illness? Jamie asked herself at one point. But making such a positive change in her life that actually felt like a release from prison, the beloved star experienced unbelievable support and understanding.
And there's a recovery phrase that says you're only as sick as your secrets. And the truth is, today, Hoda, I can look in the mirror, and when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking at the problem, but I'm also looking at the solution, and the buck stops with me.
When Jamie was early in sobriety, she had to be creative. Once, when she was filming Freaky Friday, being 9 months sober, Curtis had no other choice but put a big sign by the catering truck that said, "Recovery meeting in Jamie's trailer every day." She left the door open and didn't know if anybody would show up. Not only did someone show up, there was a group of people. Jamie was touched. They ended up calling it the Mobile Home Recovery Meeting. The actor attended the meetings all over the world, but this meeting is definitely at the top of the list. There was something about the cross-section of ages and genders and jobs and races, and it was profound. Now that she is in long-term sobriety, Jamie knows what to do to make it work for her. She has mini bars removed in hotels before she checks in, and the actor attends meetings no matter the location, even if she has to create them herself.
Anytime you can get it out, every time you get it out, there's a feeling of I'm not alone, there are people who understand, and I think that's crucial.
When she was making The Tailor of Panama with Pierce Brosnan, Curtis found a recovery meeting that only spoke Spanish. She didn't understand a word anybody said, but she went and sat down and met people, shook hands, and talked. One day at a time, they say. "I'm breaking the cycle that has basically destroyed the lives of generations in my family," Curtis told people. "Getting sober remains my single greatest accomplishment. Bigger than my husband, bigger than both of my children, and bigger than any work, success, failure, anything." The good news is that today things are good. Curtis is careful, clean, and mindful. She looks fantastic, celebrating 22 years of sobriety. Suffice to say, sober living agrees with her.
It's not a constant struggle for me to stay sober. I'm sober. I'm a very sober person. It's the struggle is to never forget that you're an addict.
Knives Out star attended the Golden Globes earlier this year to present the award to her bestie, Jodie Foster. She may not have received the nomination herself, but her dress certainly took home an award. As soon as she hit the stage, the internet showered the actress with well-deserved love. Surely, Jamie's reaction to the praise was nothing but humble. After the show, she shared a pic of her red carpet moment on Instagram. She may have poked fun at herself a bit, but over the last decade, the actor has spoken seriously on aging and her plans to do it gracefully. If I can challenge old ideas about aging, I will feel more and more invigorated. I want to be a new version of the 70-year-old woman, vital, strong, very physical, very agile. After going viral for her beauty at 62, there's no denying she'll succeed. An actor, a wife, a mother, an activist, a recovering addict. Apparently, you can do it all. That's it for today. Be well, be kind, and show some love for Jamie in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be the first one to hear the stories that make you feel all the feelings.